Anyways, there was something else. Actually, we're going to talk about police confiscating things. Last thing. We're going to go for 2 hours. We got to make it count. Last thing.
Well, looks like my video's not coming out today, guys.
Oh, I can end it otherwise.
We'll be fine.
So there's this YouTuber that lives in Australia. And Australian gun laws, as you probably know, are extremely strict.
Mm-hmm.
He built a gun to shoot a tampon. Because tampons, they look like little bullets when they're still packaged.
Mm-hmm.
And so he built a gun to fire that. It's a compressed air. Well, in Australia, that counts as a firearm. And, well, eventually the police saw the video. And this is a Commonwealth country, so the police can just show up to your house and take it. In America, it's illegal. They couldn't take it anyways. But let's say it did exist. You could still probably sue and get away with it. You're still not going to get it back, but you could at least avoid jail time. But, anyways, in Australia, so the guy tweeted his mom was calling him. Because they had like a generational household, so he lives with his parents and stuff. And the mom's like, the police are here, they're looking for the tampon gun. And I'm like, well, the tampon gun, last time I checked, he said he cannibalized it and used its parts for something else. So I'm like, it doesn't even work anymore as a tampon gun. But I thought that was crazy that this little, it was able to, I don't remember how fast it went, but the tampons could put holes through like 1/8" plywood. So, oh no, sorry, Nerf darts. The tampons could. The tampons would just like indent in, but a Nerf dart would go right through a 1/8" plywood.
How much pressure's behind those?
You know what they say, it's Nerf for nothing.
Like, I think he had like
100 PSI?
150 PSI.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was like it was 100. It was like 100 PSI. He didn't have an air compressor. He had like a high pressure bicycle pump. Why he never had an air compressor, I'll never know. But all of his videos where he needed a pressure tank, he had to pump it all up by hand. And it was basically at the failure point of the container he was using. And so,
what kind of container was he using?
I think it was ABS plastic, because if you use PVC, it makes shrapnel when it blows up.
How much pressure can PVC handle?
Depends on the PVC. You can get unpressured PVC, which is, like 90 PS, like 150 PSI. Then you can get pressure-rated PVC, which doesn't really exist because no one should use pressure and PVC together. But, that's like 250.
Well, yeah, what did Mythbusters use for their little supersonic ping pong paddle?
They used giant, like, metal tanks to hold the compressed air. And the tube was acrylic, but that's not.
Oh, it was acrylic?
But that's not holding any pressure.
Oh, you could also do the one when they did the train car that would.
Oh yeah, that was a cool video.
I like that one.
That was in their last season. Actually, that'd be a fun video, because we can get some oil drums. Because like they did it right there in a kiddie pool in their shop, and got them to collapse quite easily. Because when I had remember that soda can trick I showed you, where if you have a little bit of water in the bottom, you heat it up till it boils and the steam fills it, you flip it over into cold water, it crushes it up.
Yeah.
You can do that, but with a big oil drum.
Yeah, Veritasium did a video.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, Mythbusters did, had a whole thing about it.
Yeah, Veritasium did a video with a huge drum or something. It made quite the sound.
Yeah. Wonder how much an empty oil tank is.
And he had a slow-mo footage of it. And there was only like 2 or 3 frames that you actually saw because it compressed so fast. And I don't think he had the best slow-mo camera. I think it was probably just whatever slow-mo setting his camera had. So it wasn't high quality slow-mo.
I want to get one that's 1,000 frames per second. That's like about the cheapest you can get for slow-mos.
Mm-hmm. Well, still looking good.
Slow-mo guys.
No, just like, because like this video would have looked really good if I just had a higher frame rate for the slow-mo. Like, just like, I think 500 frames would have been great.
Yeah.
So, I need no money. Poor man. Need better video ideas first. Besides committing war crimes.
So you're gonna get very far doing that one.
Yeah, I mean, you could do what Backyard Scientist did. He couldn't get rockets of like a certain caliber because, well, you have to get a license to get those. So he made them himself, which is actually, if I'm not mistaken, is legal. So you can't buy
Just
them.
because it's legal doesn't mean you should do it.
True. You can't launch it into the air, but he just had it on a cable, and it was like he was imitating.
No, you need to become a reason they make a rule for it being illegal.
Today on Why I Caused the Safety Meeting.
Well, you wanted to launch the rocket off my deck. You wanted to take that rocket, launch it at a 30-degree angle off my deck.
Bottle rocket on steroids.
Yes.
That thing goes 1,000 feet straight up, so it'll probably go 2,000 feet horizontal. Hopefully, it'll fly over those hotels, or otherwise, it'll go into the window of the hotel. Imagine, just like somebody sitting in the hotel room, it's just
Straight to the lobby.
You got mail.
You got him.
You're gonna see in the 10-11 news next night. Russians attack Nebraska. Rocket impacts hotel room.
Kim Jong-un successful?
United States declares war on Russia. World War III has begun. All because you launched a rocket off my deck.
You're welcome.
Humanity gets wiped out because you launched a rocket off my deck.
You're welcome.
Oh my god.
You know, it would be stupid.
See, that's the thing.
Actually.
You need to before you die, you need to have at least like 3 good rules that had to be implemented because of your existence.
There was a rule that was implemented because of my existence.
Oh yeah?
Happened at the high school. So I used to skip to get to lunch every morning because you couldn't every afternoon because you couldn't run. You had to walk. But the rule says you cannot run in the hallways. Doesn't say you can't skip. So I would skip to lunch, and I'd be like, I would literally quote what the rule book says. I remember day one when they read it out loud, and I'm like, oh, well, how about that? So I'd skip to lunch every day. The next year, when they did the big meetings, like there was a rule change. It now says you must walk to class. And I'm like, you mother... Because of me, I had the rules changed.
Wait, why would kids run to lunch?
Yeah.
Like, to get just to beat the rush or whatever, or what?
Yeah, you didn't want to wait an hour in line. Because by the time you got there, all your friends were done.
And
Do you guys have split lunch or?
Oh yeah, there was split lunch, but like...
It's like you did it's like at North Star they had like 3 different lunch periods.
Yeah, we had that too.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, but it was still...
It didn't you'd still be waiting in a line forever.
Yeah, you had the 6th graders and the preschoolers, I think, have their lunch. And the middle schoolers and freshmen, and then sophomore through seniors had their lunch.
Oh. I guess it was kind of the same way. But it was like...
Basically, you have to wait in a line of like 30 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, his school was like a few hundred. At ours...
No, it was No, my class was a few hundred.
Okay, 1,000 people.
2,000.
Well, no, I'm saying you have to wait in a line that's 1,000 people long.
No, and split it up into 3. 2,000 people, a third of that. So, 700...
150.
What?
750.
Yeah. And,
Where are you going with this?
no, but,
He's trying to make this sound better than ours.
what? Sound better?
Yes.
Worse.
No, worse. Yeah, I was trying to make it sound worse.
I mean,
because
how long did it take for you to... If you went back, how long did it take you to get through that line?
Usually take longer than 15 minutes.
Ours would take 20, and there was only 40 people.
Because we had a half hour to eat lunch. And I remember there was one time, like I was finishing up a test or whatever, as the bell rang to go to lunch or whatever. And I think I stayed like 5 or 10 minutes late, and I still got there, the line was almost all gone.
Oh. See, that's when you show up to lunch so late that everybody's already gained their seconds.
Well, that's what I used to do. I actually would purposely be last in line because then I could just get seconds while I was there.
Just get doubles, you know.
And sometimes what you could really do, if you were lucky, is if it was certain things like mashed potatoes or something where you could just double up and they wouldn't know. You could get it for free. I did that one too many times that I'm proud of.
That's okay. But no, so I would skip to lunch, and so the rule had to change from you cannot run to you must walk to account for it. I would like to think I was the instigator for that rule.
Probably. You old piece of garbage.
Well, I do know when I was in National Honor Society...
Didn't stop anybody. Everybody still ran.
Oh.
They made a rule, so when my brother went through, they had to actually like do stuff, like community service and things, while they're in National Honor Society. And I'd like to think it was because of my class, because we didn't do anything.
Of course.
We had one meeting every month. And I thought of it as just a get together with friends.
Oh,
we just talked and did nothing. We did two things. I guess we made T-shirts, and we organized a student versus teacher basketball game.
We always did that at the end of the year.
Oh yeah,
that's not National Honor Society though. So at our school, National Honor Society, we had a few events in National Honor Society did stuff, but like nothing that you actually like. You know, you have to do community service or whatever.
Yeah.
To graduate, you have to do community service. However, if you go to Student Government Day at the courthouse, you can get your community service hours that you don't have to do them anymore. Well, the thing is, you have to have good enough grades to go. And I'm like, oh, wow, you know what it is? They're getting the people that are going to be convicts anyways, getting them used to picking up trash on the side of the highway, doing community service.
Yes.
Getting them used to doing that. Actually, National Government Day was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
We got to see where they kept all the license plates. This is back when they had just gotten the brand new license plates, the ones that we have now. And so it was during that transition period that all the new license plates... That's what I learned about sports car license plates. Where some cars don't have a thing on the front for you to put a license plate because California doesn't require that, which most cars base their thing off of California. And so, you can if the car is the right model, you can get sports car plates where you only need a rear one, and then I think you put like a sticker in your window or something.
Oh, that's what they do in Nebraska?
Also technically what you can do, which is not, recommended, but you could still do it and just screw everyone else. You can just put your plate in your windshield.
Yeah, depending on the cop, they might not care. Some cops...
It's still in the front of the vehicle.
Really? I always thought the driver's handbook said, like, you can't do that. Like, it's against the law.
It's still in the front of the vehicle.
Fair enough.
They can get you for it, but it's still in the front of the vehicle.
Yeah. It might not stick.
It makes it makes no sense, though, because if you think about it, it's like, you're only going to be, if you're pulling over the car, you're only going to be pulling it over from the front. You're only going to be pulling it over by looking at the rear plate.
Not always. So which is interesting that Nebraska even has this.
Well,
Nebraska doesn't have any speed traps, which is weird because speed traps would want front license plates, because then when you're going through the speed camera, if it's fast enough, it can capture you going forward and going backwards. So you have so that's
what Iowa has. If you go through downtown Des Moines, they got a speed trap.
Yeah, but Nebraska, the only speed trap is going to be in Omaha, and there's a lot of fighting whether they want to actually have it or not. And they're going to start putting it on stoplights, but
actually, interesting thing: Nebraska does not have a law for red lights. Some states have rules, have like laws, I think, where they can actually send you a ticket in the mail for running a red light.
Yeah, Nebraska doesn't have one yet, but that's why Omaha's debating, because that's what they're going to add. It's going to be speeding and for a red light camera.
Well, Omaha street traffic is just terrible in general, because basically to get through it, you have to go through like 16 different highways and interstates.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool infrastructure when you're driving through it. It's like, you got all these different things. I go, wow, this is really cool, but it's atrocious to drive.
That's why I always like Lincoln, just for the fact that I hate to say it, it reminds me of like an old high school. Kind of like ours, where it's 5 hallways, and if you can navigate the 4 main arteries, you can basically go wherever you want.
Yeah.
And then you got the weird ones that are like Cotner, where basically you just cut through the middle of everything else and weave your way through town.
I hate Cotner. Pisses me off. Because like you're gonna go because you're going like on 56th, and then it turns into Cotner, and you're like, God damn it! Now I'm gonna go on a different freaking street to go north. It pisses me off.
You're telling me this.
This sounds like a personal problem.
Cotner is the bane of my.
It's the river. It's the damn river.
Yeah, you're just you get your drive pull up to the intersection, and it's just this mess of just lights hanging everywhere. Like, what the hell is this? You can go this way, that way. I hate Cotner. It's just a disaster of infrastructure.
It saves me about 30 minutes worth of driving.
Oh well, see, I don't have to I don't have to use Cotner. I mean, when I have to, it's just like
Capitol Parkway is another really good one.
Oh,
Capitol Parkway is really nice
because that one, if you turn off of, is it 9th Street or 10th Street that goes north the one way? I think it's 9th. If you're coming off of 9th Street onto there and you hit that one light green, you can get all the way basically past.
Yep, when you're pulling off the interstate.
What?
So if you take Superior over here off the roundabout, and you go and you hop on the interstate, and that takes you straight into downtown. It's not the actual interstate, but it takes you down.
It's basically 34.
Yeah, and you take that downtown. You go past the arena. You go past the football stadium, and then that's 9th or 10th. I'm pretty sure
10th goes north, 9th goes south.
Yeah.
And then if you take that over to 14th Street, which takes you over to Capitol Parkway, you can zip all the way to South Lincoln, although it takes you diagonally.
I think you come out more or less down by almost not far enough where you get to like Lowe's, but I think it's somewhere in between. It's not it might come out by the penitentiary. No, that's regular 9th Street.
I don't know where. So 9th Street takes you to south. If you keep going south on 9th.
Well, it goes to 27th because 27th comes out down by the that skate park. And then you go all the way, you go a little bit further down, and then it's that Domino's and like the concrete place. I think it comes out by Old Cheney.
Oh, God, that's south, the east.
That's what I'm saying. That diagonal one, it cuts all the way because it goes by south and all those.
Yeah. South Lincoln is something else.
Someone was trying to list a house that's basically like, what, 1,800 square feet or something. They want like $2,200 a month for it. It's like, dude, that's a mortgage. Just buy a house at that point.
We'll help end the podcast.
Literally, I saw two words and I was like, that explains it all. South Lincoln.
I'll go off about the houses in Lincoln and the situation that's going on with those. But, anyways, thank you for showing up today's podcast. It was great. It's been a great 2 hours.
Much appreciated.
I'm going to suffer my way through editing it now, but whatever.
I thought you said you don't edit it. If edited it,
I had to edit the last one.
Oh, there was some. Yeah, but see, there was none of that this time.
True, we did a better job.
And that was just because I said the name of an arena.
Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcast every Friday, 12 p.m. Central Time, and good night.